Want to see what's happening in Justice Month? More on that later.
Coming up, we have a wrap-up of the track season and a look into the upcoming SoCon tournaments for men's and women's basketball. More on that in sports.
Coming up next, we'll talk about on-campus jobs.
Hello, I'm Lexia Gianpolous, and welcome to our Leap Day episode of the Nightly News. We won't have another one of these for another 4 years, but let's get right to our top stories. It's that time of year. If you're looking for a job for the fall, now is the time to apply. The application for on-campus jobs in fall 2024 is now open. We have lots of part-time jobs on campus. Just go to Furman University Workday websites to check out current job openings. Remember, it's not just about earning a little bit of money, but it's also being a part of something bigger. No matter what you plan to do after you graduate, there are probably on-campus jobs that will help you prepare for your future.
So what I like to do is encourage students to apply for on-campus jobs. I mean, if you have some extra time and you need a little extra money, working on campus is great. You can work as few as 2 hours a week, all the way up to 20 hours a week. And in addition to getting some extra money, you can be learning some transferable skills and making some contacts that might help you as you make your way through Furman.
In addition to lurking on Workday, you may also directly go to different departments and talk to them to see if there aren't any jobs that they've posted yet. Yesterday was the end of the Black History Month celebration. Students, faculty, and staff gathered around for food, fun, and reflection of the amazing work that happened on campus this month. To find out more, you can visit furman.edu. Alpha Kappa Alpha was the first sorority specifically created to uplift Black women. This year, they're celebrating their 30th anniversary at Furman. Esmie Fernandez has the story.
Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated is one of the Divine Nine, a group of historically Black Greek organizations, and it is one of 2 of these such organizations on Furman's campus.
As of this year, AKA has been part of Furman's community for 30 years. To Senior Doria Parks, AKA represents far more than just 3 letters.
It gives the people of color and primarily African American students a place to belong, something that is ours and historically has been ours. And it is kind of like an uplifting thing to see.
So what have these past 30 years looked like for the Sisters of Alpha Kappa Alpha?
30 years of sisterhood in the Black community among women, 30 years of service on Furman's campus, 30 years of encouraging women to achieve and dream big.
Their time on Furman's campus has not been without its ups and downs. A combination of low membership numbers and the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic led to AKA going inactive for a period of time.
It is kind of harder on predominantly white campuses to maintain numbers.
After being part of the Resurrection chapter, Daria and her peers have revitalized AKA at Furman.
But we're here, and we plan to stay for years to come.
They currently host a variety of different programming, including service within the local community, step shows, and mentorship programs. This is Esmie reporting for Nightly News.
Thanks, Esmie. To learn more about the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, you can visit their website at aka1908.com. Trailblazing and advocating doesn't end in February. We will march our way to Justice Month next week. Our Jada Walker has a rundown of those events.
And to chalk off Justice Month, you and your friends can go check out some sidewalk art right beside the dining hall, usually where chalking happens during homecoming. Then, on March 12th through 14th, there are a few CLPs that you and your friends can go check out, from What is Justice Month to queer politics to disability rights. Then, there are some documentaries that you and your friends can go check out for CLP credits. First, the True Cost documentary discusses how low-life wage workers in developing countries are affected by rivers, soil pollution, and more. Then, on March 19th, you and your friends can go check out the James documentary. This documentary talks about abortion laws in the Catholic Church that are connected to the Chicago mob. Then, you can take a break from your CLPs to wear red to support those who have experienced injustice. Students will then have the opportunity to go attend another CLP on the civil rights movement. Then lastly, to wrap up this week, you'll have the opportunity to go register and vote. Then, to wrap up Justice Month, students will have the opportunity on Monday, March 25th, to attend a Secret Abraham tour or a microaggression CLP. Then moving on in that week, students have the opportunity to go to another CLP, What is Justice? Lastly, to wrap up Justice Month, there will be a Justice Roll Call event where students just celebrate how Justice Month went.
Thanks, Jada. Justice Month is full of events and CLPs that you can check out. Each week we'll keep you updated with what's posted and the latest details of what's to come. If you have a topic that you care about, maybe a social justice topic, after spring break you'll have the opportunity to share your message at World Speech Day. Furman has been hosting World Speech Day for 5 years. From heartfelt monologues to fiery proclamations and arguments on important topics, our paladins have left their mark on this global celebration. Universities from every corner of the globe join in. It's a symphony of voices and a chorus of ideas.
Come to World Speech Day on the library steps on March 15th from 11 to 2 so that you can join us and all people around the world as we celebrate the power of speech. I want you to come so I can hear you stand up and speak out.
You must sign up for a time to speak, so scan the QR code on the flyers you see around campus. All topics are welcomed. You might have heard of this club called Palamind. They're a club that promotes mindfulness. After spring break, they're holding events to help us all be a little more in the moment. Marissa Schabes looked into what they have on the calendar.
According to a study by UCLA Health, dogs relieve stress. So, first up on Tuesday, March 12th, Palamind is partnering with Focus to bring therapy dogs to campus. You can play with our furry pals outside of the library from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. If you want to relax and lose yourself in something creative, on Wednesday, creativity will be flowing with a pottery and painting drop-in at Judson Patio from 1:30 to 5 p.m. On Thursday, there will be a mindful dinner at the Trustees Dining Room at 5:30 p.m. You can use this QR code to RSVP if interested. But maybe you want to spend some time and immerse yourself in mindfulness activities. Then, a retreat is what you need. From 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. on Saturday, Palamind is hosting one here on campus. Now, let's hear from the president of Palamind, Tatiana Gonzalez, about what this week is really all about.
The goal is to expose Furman students to different events that can encourage mindfulness across campus. Most of us are really stressed out, and we wanted to provide a way that is fun and engaging to allow Furman students to experience mindfulness and the benefits that come with it.
Thanks for that scoop, Marissa. If you want to start a mindfulness practice, experts say it's easy. Just start meditating for 10 minutes a day. The key is to be consistent. Last weekend, Greenville was illuminated with inspiration from 15 speakers who shared their stories in the Unity Park TEDx event. I went to see what all the talk was about.
After a 4-year break following the pandemic, the Greenville community was gathered again to innovate and inspire.
Welcome to TEDx Unity Park.
Two entrepreneurs, Dr. Kaipo Sotelo, a local physical therapist from Guam, and Evan Rogers, a local filmmaker from California, self-identify as transplants to the Greenville community.
What we saw was this energy of growth and excitement around building a strong city. And so we thought, all right, like we'd want to be a part of that growth, and how do we, as late 20-year-olds, near 30 more so, how do we become a part of that?
The day had an emphasis on networking and building a stronger community. As part of this, the event attendees had the opportunity to connect with Greenville businesses in Vendor Village. The theme of the day was movement. This was chosen based off the clear choice of the organizers' partnership and how they view Greenville. Spartanburg local Anthony Modesto Milian boasts 138,000 followers on Instagram. Milian has become an influencer for moving forward while looking back, finding your cultural influence and how that can propel you forward. On Saturday, he shared his personal connection of Puerto Rican and African culture.
So it means a lot to me personally because back in August, my father passed away, and he was from Puerto Rico. And I went on a journey to learn more about heritage and culture, and was able to find that through his passing. So I'm glad that I'm able to share this knowledge today.
Maybe today you can consider what from the past can inspire you to push forward.
That really was an inspiring and innovative weekend. If you would like to attend next year's TEDx Unity Park or apply to be a speaker, you can visit TEDxUnityPark.com for more information. We know that the spring semester can be trying, especially now that we're midway through. We all need a break. So now with spring break upon us, our own Blythe Novick went out to see how you're spending it.
That's right, our spring break is within reach, and I know many of you could not be more excited. So I'm hitting them all to find out how you plan to unwind this next week. Excuse me, can I ask you a question? What's your name?
Dimitri or Dimiteo.
I'm Trevor.
Janae. How do you plan on spending your spring break?
Primarily by missing my girlfriend as she's leaving me.
I'm gonna play in the sand at Panama City Beach.
Taking a break and getting some rest.
Fair, me too. Can I ask you a question for my class? No. Hey!
Hi.
What's your name?
Allie Toll.
And how do you plan on spending your spring break?
I'm going to Florida with my best friends.
Oh, fun. Hey!
I'm going to Florida. I'm also going to Florida.
I'm also going to Florida.
I'm also going to Florida.
I'm going to Punta Cana.
Oh, original.
I'm going to Florida.
A lot of Florida. Who am I here with?
LJ, Wise. Ian.
How do you plan on spending your spring break?
I'm going to shred some door.
Well, me and my buddies are heading up to Idaho out west, and we're going to go skiing, we're going to go snowmobiling, we're going to go to a hot spring, we're going to hang out, get real close, kind of get to know each other a little bit better, but I think it's going to be a pretty fun week.
What are the odds somebody gets hurt?
Well, I've never been skiing before, actually, so there might be a great chance I get hurt, so we'll see.
This is Furman's kicker, Ian Williams. Furman, travel lightly, be safe, and have fun. I'm Blythe Novick reporting for the Nightly News. Back to you.
Sounds like Furman has some big plans this week. I hope everyone has a great, relaxing week. Even though it's spring break, our athletes will still be busy with the regular season and tournament plays. But first, we'll wrap up indoor track season. That's next in sports.
We've been here watching every step of their way as the indoor track teams push to the limits of their own human capability. And this past weekend at the SoCon Championships was no exception to that mentality. Joanna Lunsford has the story.
I don't know how they do it. These athletes just wrapped up their indoor track season in Lexington, Virginia, securing 5 additional titles. Let's take a look.
To start off, the women's team championed every event from the 800 meter to the 5,000 meter, including the distance medley race for just the second time in program history. Becoming the league's first 4-time women's 800 meter champion, senior Megan Marvin established the league record of 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Next, 5th year Abigail Robertson championed the women's 3,000 meter at 9 minutes and 33 seconds, and also took gold in the women's mile, finishing with a time of 4 minutes and 47 seconds.
For me, it was really special since this was my last SoCon Indoor Championships. So just to be able to do that in both events, and in the mile, I've never run that in indoor SoCon, so that was super exciting and fun to try a new event and just to do it with my teammates. Felt like both in the 3K and the mile, I was working together with other people, and so it almost felt like we were doing it together, and getting multiple people on the podium each time was super exciting.
Leading all the runners in the women's 5,000 meter, junior Sierra Bauer secured her first SoCon title, crossing the line with a time of 16 minutes and 26 seconds.
It feels really exciting, especially because I've done a lot of SoCon races before that maybe haven't gone so well, so I'm excited to have got my first one and that we had 2 Furman girls on the podium.
As for the men's team, these athletes took gold in every event from the mile to the 5,000 meter for the second straight year. Winning his 4th career mile, 5th year Cameron Ponder crossed the line with a time of 4 minutes and 6 seconds.
It was really cool. It was a lot of fun. It was something that, I'd been thinking about throughout recovering from my injury, and those days when you're not running but you're in the pool or on the bike, just trying to get better. You think about moments like that, and so for me it was really cool. Not many people get to say they win one title, so to win 4, it's a blessing, and it's just something I worked really hard for, and hopefully it's just the start of more accomplishments.
Next, defending his reigning champion title in the men's 5,000 meter, senior Dylan Schubert took gold with a time of 14 minutes and 5 seconds. Following Schubert in the men's 5,000 meter, sophomore Luke Taylor secured a personal record of 14 minutes and 8 seconds. Crossing third with a PR of 14 minutes and 22 seconds was junior Nick Goldstein. In fifth place came in junior Casey Burr with a PR of 14 minutes and 51 seconds. And finishing sixth, Owen Shiflett earned his second SoCon All-Freshman Team award with a time of 14 minutes and 56 seconds. Unfortunately, Samford took their championship title for their fifth consecutive year with a total of 160 points. Right behind Western Carolina, our Dins came in third with a total of 112 points.
That may be a wrap on their indoor track season, but these year-round athletes never stop training. Now it's time for these Dins to brave the cold and get ready for their outdoor track season. I'm Joanna Lunsford reporting for the Nightly News.
Thanks, Joanna. The Dins will open up their outdoor track season at High Point Meet of the Champions on March 22nd. Women's basketball is closing out their first season under new head coach Pierre Curtis. Ryan Lamb takes a look at how the season has shaped up as we head into the SoCon tournament next week.
As the women's basketball season comes to a close, I had a chance to sit down with head coach Pierre Curtis to discuss the goals for the program.
I want to instill, we're going to work hard, we're going to be tough, but I just want to have fun, man. And I told them, pride's been our thing the whole time. It's just passion, respect, integrity, discipline, and just everybody having fun.
These concepts aren't new for the team, since Pierre has been assistant coach for 10 years, before stepping into this new role as head coach. Veteran starter Sydney James is a team leader on and off the court and has experience with Coach Pierre.
It didn't take long for us to adjust to him, and I think it was even better that he was a part of the program already. So it was someone who was familiar, we're comfortable with him, so it was good.
Heading into the SoCon tournament, Furman leads the league in offensive scoring and in rebounds, but still has a 14-14 overall record and 4-8 record in conference. We have 3 of the top 10 scorers in the league with Jada Sessions, Nevaeh Henley, and Kate Johnson. But everyone will have to be firing on all cylinders as we head into the tournament. It's safe to say that this is just the start for this program, as Coach Pierre and the team settle into their new roles. But for now, they have a season to finish. I'm Ryan Lamb, and you're watching Nightly News.
I agree. Coach P and the team take on ETSU on Saturday in Timmins Arena before heading into tournament play next week. The tournament will be an uphill climb to make it past the #1 team, Chattanooga. This team is led by Jada Gwynn. The men's basketball team is also headed to Asheville next week for the SoCon tournament. Ella Harrison knows what it would take for the team to make it back to March Madness this year. Ella?
It was electric in Timmins on Saturday as the Dins dominated Wofford. Now it's the calm before the storm.
When we're playing our best ball, which I think we are right now, I think we've shown that we can compete with anybody, and then that this tournament can easily be ours.
Sophomore forward Ben Vanderwall is one player peaking at the right time. Vanderwall put up a career-high 15 points against VMI 2 weeks ago. Even as an underclassman, he is a leader.
That's something that I do well, is I bring energy. I do things that not everybody loves to do. I love diving for loose balls and tipping out offensive rebounds, pumping up the crowd and screaming at our bench, and it's just bringing energy.
Vanderwall notched 2 blocks and 2 steals against Wofford, while Marcus Foster and JP Pegues scored 20 apiece to seal the victory. Senior Johnny Lawrence talks about how a connected team is key to finishing the season strong against Mercer and being successful in Asheville.
We don't want to be selfish. We don't want to be playing for ourselves. We don't want to be just a team that's, they're really talented. They want to be you can't break them.
How connected can we be on the court? The connection can't be broken. We got to be connected on defense. We got to be connected on offense. What does that look like in each aspect?
Players to keep your eye on at the tournament are Pegues, who leads the SoCon in free throws, Carter Witt, who is top 10 in the league for steals, and Marcus Foster, who is 3rd in the league for scoring. The Dins aim to spread the wealth and make a fast break to another championship.
It's the ultimate goal, right? As a competitor, you want to win championships. And for me and for my teammates, we just want to win again. And we tasted it once, and now we just want to taste it again.
The Dins are experienced in postseason play, losing a heartbreaker to Chattanooga 2 years ago and winning a thriller against the Mocs last year. We can't wait to see everything that's in store this year at the SoCon tournament in Asheville.
Thanks, Ella. Congrats to JP Pegues, who got his 1,000th point in last night's game against Western Carolina. Despite the 77-85 loss, Pegues had 35 points. Ben Vanderwall was the only other Paladin to break double digits. We take on Mercer on Saturday, and the SoCon tournament kicks off Friday, March 8th. On Saturday, women's softball had a doubleheader versus Louisville and Bowling Green. The Dens took the win over Louisville 13-8, then they fell short, losing to Bowling Green 7-3. On Sunday, there was a quick turnaround as they played Bowling Green again, outscoring them 5-3. They also played Coastal Carolina, but lost 8-2. We look forward to them beating Akron and South Dakota this upcoming weekend. On Saturday, women's tennis played home versus Tulsa. They lost the match 2-4. Their next match is away versus FAU on March 5th. Women's golf was led by Anna Morgan, who scored 3rd place at the Chevron Classic. The team scored 16th place as a whole. While many of us are headed to the beach, the mountains, or our hometowns for the next week, some of Furman students aren't so lucky. Here's Cole Morehead with the story.
For many students, this Friday will signal the start of spring break. However, some students don't get that privilege. Furman's student athletes might also be traveling, but not for leisure. Their spring break will consist of more practices and games, just like the rest of the school year.
So for me on the women's lacrosse team, spring break kind of looks a little different than most other sports. We are pretty much here all break. This year we only have one game over break, so we're pretty much just, like living here and not really doing much. So spring break for us is kind of a little boring.
Furman student athletes are aware that there is a trade-off for playing the game that they love on a collegiate level.
Personally, I made that choice coming in. I knew I wouldn't have a spring break, and in the moment, like during spring break, I always feel like, I wish I could go home. I wish I could have that break off, and I wish, sometimes the NCAA would allow us to have that week off, because we're doing a lot, like every other student and every other student athlete, but I personally wouldn't trade it off. But I know that I really do miss having a spring break, so.
While we're away on spring break soaking up the sun, these student athletes will remain grinding, trying to achieve their SoCon glory. Reporting for the Nightly News, this is Cole Morehead.
Thanks, Cole. Hopefully all their hard work pays off.
And speaking of hard work, our own Jada Walker, we'd like to highlight her for just a second as a powerhouse juggling a multitude of roles and responsibilities here at Furman. And as a senior, she's not only double majoring in communication studies and urban studies, but also double minoring in poverty studies and Africana studies. She's the director of Funk and a member this semester of the Nightly News.
Way to go, Jada. We all know spring break is coming up. What are your plans?
I'm going to Nashville for the week. Super excited. What about you?
Okay, I'm going to Fort Lauderdale to enjoy the beach.
Oh, nice. That'll be great. Well, I'm Lexia Gianpolous.
I'm Micah Robinson.
Thanks for watching.